Yo, can you guys hear me? Just let me know quick. Okay, I think finally the issues are sorted out. I might decide to switch to Twitch or some other platform. YouTube ends up being too, it just ends up creating too many problems. But let's uh, begin with the stream. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's having a good time. Hope everyone's not over trading going into these macro events. Today is CPI, tomorrow is still unemployment numbers coming out. So for the US, so still you'd want to be minimizing the number of trades you take, and we'll go with that soon. But let's go over some of the messages. Your trades in the group are excellent as always. You're welcome. Pro, is this live recorded? Yes, you can find it later in my channel. Good morning, Fregisco. Hello, Yusril. So yeah, hope everyone's doing good. Before we move on to BTC and the market thoughts I have and the specific things I am looking at as usual, I'd love to know from you people how your trading has been. What do you think about the market? Anything in general you want to talk about? How are you positioned currently? What do you expect from the market in coming days? Anything you'd want to be asking before we move on to specific charts and stuff? Feel free to do so. Okay, so no one has anything to ask about. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Amish. When you have a chart, can you chart SUI, please? Yeah, we can go with that a bit later. How my streams usually go is we begin with some bit of journal discussion, but the kind of dead audience I am getting feels of, probably we won't have any of the discussions, and then we move on to BTC and ETH chart, and then we move on to alts and stuff. Will we finally see ETH coins doing well coming weeks, considering the weakness being showed by Sol memes recently? Uh, By ETH memes, I could agree. ETH memes like Pepe, Mog, they look decent for a run eventually in coming times. But ETH coins, when we are especially talking about stuff like ARB, LDO, ENS, OP, I don't expect much from this from them, to be honest. That they all of them mostly look dead. Like for example, let's say even if you are betting on ETH strength, which I am not personally, but let's say you are bullish on ETH and you are saying that okay, ETH through BTC rallies in coming weeks and stuff. Remember the last time you got the ETH ETF hype and ETH BTC rally 20-30%. Most of these ETH coins that probably you are talking about, ARB, OP, LDO, ENS and stuff, they still didn't do much despite ETH through BTC rallying higher. The only thing that acted as a strong ETH beta were mainly the ETH memes, right? Like Pepe did a 2x, like maybe even more than a 2x rally when ETH to BTC went up. Mog ran like for a 2-3x as well. A lot of ETH memes did well. So even if you are betting on some ETH rally in coming time, I think betting on ETH memes would be your best bet. How's the CVD and flow looking like for BTC, you think? Isaac, I think especially on the perp side, it's pretty much dead since Friday. And it also makes sense. It's just few people left on the books trying to trade and speculate on these numbers coming out. Most of the time, when you are headed into multiple macro events within a week, right? Like for example, yesterday we had PPI, today we have CPI, tomorrow we'd have unemployment numbers coming out. Do not expect much on the flow side going on, right? You get occasional heavy shorting at the lows. I think the best way to take this price action is you just play the extremes and take it as a ranging price action until proven otherwise, right? Like yesterday, after being patient for a few days, I took a long. I saw shorts being aggressive around the 58k lows going into PPI, and looking at spot bets catching up, it was a logical trade to bet on a bit of mean reversion post US Open, right? Those are the only things you should be focusing on. I think the price action and the flow would be much more clearer once we are done with these macro events. Like I think post like maybe today end, once CPI numbers are out, or maybe even once unemployment numbers are out tomorrow, things would be way more clearer than right now. How about ETH beta plays SSV? Again, Rajmani, I said the same. Whatever I said about OP, ARB, LDO, that applies to SSV as well. They maybe do well if ETH to BTC rallies, like slightly well, but if you want to bet on some actual good betas, bet on ETH memes. Also, I think I'm still not sure on ETH rally, to be honest. I don't know how and why everyone keeps on getting bullish on ETH. Every time you see such sentiments on ETH and ETH BTC remains green for few days, most of the time you don't get good things from the market following that. Like every single top you have gotten on market since March has been when ETH to BTC stayed green for few days, right? So I'm not sure how good I should be feeling about everyone getting bullish on ETH again and ETH to BTC being green for few days. So we wait today and tomorrow before looking for spots. 100%. I don't think this is a time to be aggressive unless we are done with these macro events. You don't believe in ETH rally because we are in summer. I don't believe in ETH rally because I don't believe in ETH regardless of whatever time we are in. Let's see. Thanks for your long play yesterday. You're welcome. Okay. A bit of the thoughts I have currently. First and most importantly, stay a little patient. At least don't overtrade today and tomorrow. Been saying that since Friday, and I still see people overly bull posting and trying to long every push up and chase moves up. Even though I myself longed yesterday, but you got to be longing at the extremes, right? try to whenever after a push down, look for some positions to get to, that could be caught offside, right? Some of aggressive shorting at lows, some of reclaim coming up, some of spot bids catching, and then you can try for some longs at extremes. But if you are trying to chase these push ups every time, like after a push up is done and then you try to long in these conditions, most of the time you'd end up getting chopped. So first thing is, in these macro events, in the week of macro events, try to just expect a range, some chop. Don't expect certain trending price action to either side. To be honest, it's not that I am being bearish or stuff. It just makes logical sense to me that you should try to first of all switch to intraday trading, some scalping. Don't swing positions in current conditions. Book profits aggressively, trade at extremes, and I think you do well. Also, like, closer to macro events is where I see people, pushing on trades and pushing on their biases the most. Like, similar, remember, I think the last time we streamed on YouTube was the time, I think, where we were, I'm not sure. I think we last time we streamed around this price action, right? We were heading into FOMC. I advise a lot of people the same, right? Like, people were getting overly bullish due to the Trump conference on Saturday. Then we pushed into FOMC, and look at what happened after that. I'm not saying these macro events result in a similar move that we got last time. All I am saying is just to be a bit patient till Thursday. I shorted ETH at 27.48 once. I think, Rahim, you have better things to be looking shorts at than ETH. Even though I want to short ETH with my full portfolio every single time it goes up, but you don't know how longer these ETH shells and ETH hype carries on. Maybe it pushes into 2800 and then everything nukes after that. So I think look at weaker stuff, right? Look to short maybe Sol coins. Like, look at how underperforming Sol coins have been for the past days, right? Like, we have been waiting for our Jito Popcat short fills, yet they just keep on not filling us and bleeding down. So I think Sol coins are a better bet if you want to short. Also, yeah, now coming back to what you could trade today, even though I advise anything you trade today to be with smaller risks and not pushing too much. But the only logical play I could be looking at is, first, I'm not a fan of when we push into event coming up, right? Like, for example, yesterday was a confident long for me because we weren't pushing going into PPI, right? In fact, market was hedging. We were selling off on lower time frames. We were seeing aggressive shorting going into PPI. And that was a logical trade to trade, expecting a mean reversion out of a positive PPI, right? But so far, I'm not a fan of, like, yes, I could agree with the thesis that, positive PPI probably means positive CPI coming in today as well. And maybe market's positioning for that. But if you already see bunch of positioning going into an event, then a lot of time I'm not that confident on betting on continuation once that numbers or news come out. So I think the only place I'd be looking at looking to try a long scalp is not here. I'd want some of the positive CPI longs positive PPI longs and the longs that are speculating for positive CPI to come out today to get flushed out, get a move into like this intraday level, which is at 59.5ish, I believe, 59.5, 59.6. I think anything around here before CPI, if we get, would be a good long opportunity where you could try something like this. I'm not placing limits personally. I just have my alert set, and if you see some good reaction and some good flow out of this level retest, it's a good and tight invalidation scalp long that you could take, and probably once CPI numbers come out, you could trade it into like 63ish, I believe. This is my intraday play that I am looking at. I do hope we don't just keep on grinding up going into CPI. If we do that, the second possibility is, let's say we don't get this mini pullback down into 59.5 and we just go up only. That's where I'd be a bit cautious on the move, on the positive numbers coming out, because we kind of still have the unemployment, which is important important indicator of the macro environment we are in, based on the unemployment numbers that come out tomorrow. So if we just keep on grinding up going into CPI and I get some more FOMO longs coming in after positive CPI numbers, then probably I'd be looking for some, actively looking for some shorts. One short play I have is we just push right from here into the 63, 60, 63.5, 64K level. Once I see weakness and grind back below, that's a good short opportunity. Or let's say market is weak and we don't get that push up on the positive numbers, then look for the sweep of these wicks, and once these wicks are swept, look for a weakness back below 61.4, and that's your short trigger to be shorting probably towards 57. So yeah, I think these are the three levels that you should be trading on intraday. Any pre-CPI pullback into 59.5 is a place where I'd be looking for longs. If we keep on pushing up into CPI and we push after CPI numbers, these are the two triggers I'm looking for to be able to get some shorts going into unemployment numbers tomorrow. So that's kind of the intraday plan I have on BTC specifically. So if you have anything to ask about whatever we talked on BTC, feel free to do so, and then we can move on to ETH and Sol and few of the other alts that I'm looking at. Good morning, George. Are you becoming more bullish on market as summer ends? Important, it's time to accumulate buy coins for. Give me a minute. Buy coins for Q3, Q4. First of all, I don't trade much of long-term, mid-term. But if I have to make a guess, I think we are still in summer, at least for August, right? August, if you look at historically, isn't the one of the most bullish months of the year, right? So I personally believe that even if we are about to get a summer end rally, you'd get it like closer to mid-September, maybe late September. I am personally expecting just chop in range and a bit of bleed and a small pushes up in that kind of a price action throughout August. I don't think this is the current stage of market we are in. I don't think this is where you just expect a strong, like next week we are heading into 70K something. I don't believe that. I think for the remaining August, we just range and chop around. Now coming into your question, that is it good times to be accumulating things for when the rally comes? I think like if you are 100% in stables and have literally no long-term exposure or something in crypto and have been waiting, then yeah, this is a good time. Like in past accumulating in summers, have proven to give decent returns when market starts trending back up. So you can look to have some gradual buying plans that you look to accumulate on any coming August tips you get. That should be your plan, in my opinion. I have noticed when I'm up at this time, come 4 a.m., 40 minutes, things dump. But if they haven't dumped when you started to stream, then I don't know. You think you are saying that we usually dump in a mid-Asia session? I don't think so. I personally haven't seen a good trend on Asia sessions. They are just like a bit abstract. Some days you get some pushes up on Asia, sometimes they sell, sometimes we just chop around. I'm accumulating only Sol ETH for now. I want mid caps, but for now too risky. I like your plan. I think if I have to do something with my stables, I do pretty much what you are doing. I do more Sol than ETH, but yeah, accumulating majors is a good play. Less risky, high probability bets. Yes, you won't get like 10, 20x's out of them, but they'd still perform decent once market begins to trend up. Brink of world war. First of all, there is no world war coming up. Stop creating FUD around. Secondly, wars in the past have proven to be good accumulation times. So Even though I try to be bearish time to time. Like I've been bearish since Friday. Took few shots. Been asking people to stay away from major upside exposure. But just don't get overly bearish, man. Be cautious. Look for some intraday sell-offs to short. Avoid aggressive longing. But just don't stop macro doom posting on we are fucked. World War III coming. Macro looks bad. We had pretty much same sentiments last summers. We had same sentiments in the Ukraine-Russian war a few years back. So I don't believe in this kind of narrative. Yes, like it's good to be cautious on, especially like when such events are coming up. Like for example, I do think you'd get some sort of Iran news coming this week. We had a discussion in previous streams where how like I think 15th or 16th is a holy day for Jews. So maybe you see some sort of news coming out on this recent conflict in this week. So you could try to be a bit patient on being aggressive on longs, but overall I don't think it's right to be macro doom posting over here. Your take on yeah. So that's my overall plan on BTC. Uh, I have no interest in longing right here. Let's hope that we get a mini pre CPI flush down to be getting into some longs. Other than that, I'm just an observer for now. One thing also I don't like is the weakness on Sol. I don't know how people start to get bullish on Sol. How people start to get bullish on ETH. And they start getting bullish on their alts back because they think that ETH to BTC leading means good for their alts. But in past experience, most of the good moves you have gotten on the market, including alts, have come when Sol's been trending, right? For example, ever since we bottomed from 48 something a week ago, what was the thing that led this entire rally up and alts bounced 50 to 100%? A lot of stuff even did 2-3x from the lows, right? What was the one major that was leading the entire move up? It was Sol, right? While ETH kept on lagging, and while Sol kept on leading, we had a lot of good days of bullish price action. We saw some strong buybacks across market. But now, since Friday, ever since Sol started showing weakness and ETH has started showing strength, look at what market has been doing since then, right? A lot of alts are bleeding down, a lot of choppy price action. So yeah, I am not a fan of how Sol is showing a lot of weakness and ETH is looking good past few days. I shared this chart in my corner too, that most of all the previous macro local tops on market you have gotten since April, even to be honest last year as well in December, most of the temporary tops you have gotten on BTC have come when the Sol to ETH chart tops out, right? Like when we topped at 70k, pretty much was the time around where Sol to ETH topped out late July. Now ever since we a lot of stuff started bleeding since we tapped 62 point something on Thursday, Friday was the time when Sol to ETH topped out as well. So I don't know, like if you're bullish on Sol and bearish on Sol and bullish on BTC, sorry, what am I saying? If you are bearish on Sol and bullish on ETH, basically meaning that you are bearish on this chart, then I don't know how you could still remain bullish on the rest of the market. So I hope this ETH strength eventually begins to fade out, or else I'll not be too sure on the market in coming days. So someone said MKR is a really interesting chart, to be honest. Wow, 13% up. Nice. A lot of ETH DeFis have started looking good in spite of this ETH strength. MKR, Rune, few others. MKR looks super interesting. I think, but one thing to still look for on MKR is I won't try anything on MKR right over here. Try to look for any exposure at a pullback closer to, I would say, 2019-60, or else a flip above 2270. This weekly level, these previous highs. If we do end up flipping above 2250, 2270, I think it would be a really good buy opportunity, but not right here. Either look for a pullback or a flip above 2270. These would be two good buying triggers. Someone said your take on FET. I've been avoiding AI coins for a long time, and I think I still do the same. Unless I see some AI narratives coming up on them. This is just a super bad looking chart to me, to be honest. But if you really want to look at it objectively, a few things to look at is, personally not a fan of runs that end up doing something like this, right? Like macro rally up for a few months, and then in next months pretty much completing the entire market cycle within few months, right? Not a fan of such structures, but let's say somehow you are still bullish on AI narrative and you want to be betting on FET, then you don't want this 785 level to get lost. I think the last time we streamed on YouTube on FET was when we were trading around these levels. And we talked about, if it ends up losing 1.05, 1.07, try to run away from your exposure, right? And ever since we lost this level, we have been down like 30-35% further. The same I would say about this level as well. This could be a good level to accumulate, but I also believe that even if we bottom here on FET, it would take a while for it to range and accumulate between these levels before it gives any rally or something. But at the same time, if FET ends up losing 78.5, 0.785, run away, because then probably it gets back within this range and you can target these lows that are below, which would be a further 30-40% drawdown. So if you are bullish on FET and want to try anything on FET, it's a good high time frame support it's setting above, but also you don't want it to be losing 785. Can you take a look at INJ and CRV? I never get good alts requests when I'm on YouTube. Most of you people are always looking at dead stuff. INJ. This has started to look a bit better than it used to. This looks decent, I would say. But yeah, I think I do like this this flip above $18 that you are getting, and the kind of daily structure it's forming. Please FAT, I am stuck from 1.5. First of all, we just did FAT like 10 minutes ago. Secondly, there is nothing called as stuck in financial markets. What's stopping you to close your exposure or reevaluate your exposure? Now coming back to INJ, I I usually am not a fan of INJ ever since it topped out for past few months, but starting to look a bit better, I would say, after this range break and now deviating back above. Let's first do a bit more of. Let's see how high time frame momentum looks. Hmm. ARB bro, please just have a bit of patience. How you doing, brother? Dow's sir. Have you checked TIA today? No, I haven't. I will. Just a little bit of time. I don't know. Even though I hate this coin, but starting to look a little good. I won't execute anything on INJ right now, just because of the things I said about how I feel on Sol, weakness in ETH strength, and then these macro events aligned up this week. But I do think if we are, once we are done with all these things, and if INJ is still trading above $18, it could be a good bet, to be honest. Yeah, because it's a really tight invalidation here. Uh, Previous highs has been the range lows on INJ for a very long time. Now, after this sell off below, trying to reclaim back above. So I think I'd personally wait a little because I don't want to be too. I don't mind buying like 10-15% higher. But overall, I think it looks good as long as it's above $18 on daily or like 12 hours. So if you want to play INJ, play it here, but also don't you don't want to see it losing $18. As long as it's above on daily, I think it looks decent. If it ends up losing 18, that's a big short trigger for me. So yeah, that in summary, above 18 good, below 18 not good. I might try for some INJ exposure myself if by this Thursday end, or like maybe even today end, we are still above $18 or INJ. I think it could mean revert towards high time frame. In long term, I'm not still sure on how this L1 narrative performs this cycle after it topped out, but I think like it could still be a good swing towards $30. Yeah, I think this is a good trade setup overall. Uh, Almost I would say what a three month range, broke down, reclaiming back above. As long as range lows hold, aim for a move at least towards mid range, take some off, then towards range highs. Yeah, I think this is a chart to be looking at. Now let's look at some of other coins. Someone said TIA. TIA looks have started to look decent, to be honest. So the thing to be looking at TIA is this is pretty much the range we have been in for almost, I would say, June, July, more than 3 months now. Right, where 7.1, 7.2 acts as a range highs, anything around $5 acts as a range lows, and then you can say that this acts as a mid range, right, for this 3 month range. And I do like the fact that we are trying to get this acceptance above these last swing highs and above this mid range. Uh, yeah, I think as long as TIA holds above $6, it's good. Anything back below $6, I'd be looking for shorts, because I also think it could end up being a good short setup. Where, as I said, this is our range lows, this is our mid range, this is our range highs, right? Uh, I think if we do end up losing this mid range after this deviation, the way this trend looks, I'd be looking for some shorts. If we deviate below this mid range and lose this trend, I think this could end up being a good short setup, to be honest. Something of this sort. But you'd want it to first lose this mid range and lose this trend. It could end up being a good short play. If not, if it keeps up showing a strength above $6, then it's a play for you to take towards range highs $7. I think I'd be. This is like kind of my short-term thoughts on TIA, right? Just play these three levels. Above mid-range, look for a move into range highs. Loses mid-range and this trend, look for a short into back into range lows. This is the short-term thoughts. But on higher time frame, I think I'd only be bullish on TIA because it's been a super weak alt, and ever since it topped out, it's something that just does down only since it topped, right? 80, more than 80% down from highs. And similar to the FET structure, it's one of the alt that rallied strong after its listing and then pretty much ended up retracing its entire run. So I would say this is a decent accumulation for it to start any form of rally if it has to. But to be high time frame, to be like mid to long term bullish on TIA, I'd want to see reclaim above $7. Anything above 7.1 is actually where the fun on TIA could resume back, and you could aim anything towards $12 or maybe even like 16 or something. But unless $7 is reclaimed, try to play TIA just intraday, right? Where you just take these three levels into account and try to form your trades around these three levels. I feel like TIA will appear on X timeline soon. It does every time. And I think whenever CT starts shilling TIA again, that's usually a good top signal on TIA every single time. How do you find coins for trade? Maybe you can try tools like spaghetti charts. Coin bubbles to see what coins are performing good on the day. You can download a alts list, BTC pairing list from Sandwich Finance, and rearrange them in a descending order to see the strongest coins of the day. Also, you can be good with narratives and see what kind of narratives are running good on the day, whether it's meme, whether it's AI, whether it's DeFi's or Meta, or like recently the bucket of coins that's been leading is kind of the dead L1 narrative showing strength, right? Like you can see FTM, APT, SUI, INJ, all these L1s that got sold off hard past months, they have started catching a bit of bed. Kind of like a Sol killer narrative going on that maybe they end up running like what Sol did for a year now, which I highly doubt. I think all these would eventually, all these are like short-lived narratives. This is why I'm not getting too much bullish on these TIA, SUI, INJ pushes. So let's see. Thank you for your live streaming on YouTube, bro. You're welcome. Also, Osama bin Laden, I don't know whoever you are, you need to chill out, man. Just be a bit patient. I'm trying to go over all requests. If it I've already done, once I am done with my stream, go over it, go over the live recording, which would be on my YouTube channel, and you can go over it again. Eli, WhatsApp number, please. Why would you want that? And why would I share that if I had it? Uh, MKR could be nice soon. I agree. I agree. I think MKR is one of the better looking charts right now on the market. But again, I think I'd get high time frame bullish on MKR only when it flips 2.2, because it's also one of the coins, if you remember, that it shows strength, but its strength is also like a short-lived rally, right? Every time it shows strength, it eventually ends up dying back down, right? We have seen this a lot of times in the past. So I think it's a good narrative and a good coin to be bullish on, but I would really want it to get back above $2.2. Anything above 2.2, I think it could run good in coming days. Until then, I think I'd be looking for some MKR exposure at this 2019 50-ish pullback if we get. Where we can see CVD liquidity chart. First of all, you are just throwing out random terms. What do you mean by liquidity, CVD chart, whatever you. Nevertheless, you can look at Coinbase flow on platforms like AGGR. Google that, you'd get a website pop up, add a good template to it, and you can see flow the CVDs of the exchanges. Another platform you could use is Coinalyze. Another one you could use is Velo. The one I use mainly is either AGGR or Trading Light. AGGR is the free one you could get. Trading Light, probably you need the premium subscription to be able to use. ARB? Okay. Why has everyone started talking about ARB today? Like I've heard ARB like 10 times already since morning. Get ARB look like this, man. Like, I don't know. Are you people getting on bullish on something that looks like this? First of all, on higher time frame, it's one of the worst looking charts, period, right, on crypto that you could get this cycle. Also, one of the worst fundamental wise thing you could get, where VCs are just like constantly dumping on you. But again, a lot of dead stuff has some mean reversion too. It's never down only. So maybe it's ARB time soon. Maybe it gives some 30-40% mean reversion. That's the max I could expect from these coins. But for that, I think you would at least want these previous lows to get flipped, right? Which somehow seems to be showing as a good trouble area on ARB. So I think the only good play would be something of this sort, where it ends up flipping here. Try exposure at flip of 0.59 and look for a move into 764. Anything into 764, sell everything, and then just be patient on coins like these. Don't look for some moon targets on such stuff. I think it could be a good mean reversion trade, but you'd want these previous lows and these highs to be flipped intraday before trying any sort of position. SCI looks good. We can have a look on SCI. Most of times you share chart of CB selling pressure on spot and perps are going above. Where we can find that chart, bro? I just answered your question, man. You just start paying attention. It's AGGR. CAS has a crazy high time frame chart. Think it's I know very little of this coin. I've heard it few times. Yeah. I know why it looks to me similar to like Dawn chart that we had a few weeks back. By the way, Dawn looks good. I don't find the site, sorry man. Google AGGR. Now, do you want me to take a ride to your place and make you type those four letters? We're coming back to gas. I'm stuck in FET. Will it go back to 1.5 again? Mention FET one more time and you are getting blocked on the chart. It looks decent. I would agree the thing you said that structure wise it's one of the better looking charts. Something that hasn't done this, right? As opposed to like 90% of the alts. I think it. I forgot what could this coin actually is. Is it another L1? Yeah, I agree. I think it does look good structure wise, but this is not the place I'd FOMO into this coin, to be honest. Uh, you can see how we have seen multiple rejections. This was just one time we broke and then ended up deviating back down. I think the only place where I'd be bullish on gas is if it ends up breaking above 18 cents on daily. If this is the flip that you get on daily, that's your really bullish trigger that you could try. Or else then look for lower, to be honest, anything around here maybe, or even around here. But I think first wait for this 18 cents flip. Don't enter right below this $18 area. Yeah, even though it looks strong structure wise, but I'd still wait for this 18 cents flip. Why ape dropped too bad? Just avoid the coins that drop too bad, right? Like, why do you? Why are you so focused on the reasoning? In bear market, some on CT were projecting it to be next BTC, and actually it did exceedingly well throughout. It could be, but for now, as said, just cut out the noise and just focus on these levels. Above 18, good. Below, avoid. I think Mu looks like it's getting ready to break out. For real? We can have a look. What is CT? Crypto Twitter. I don't like Mu here, like especially on daily. Uh, it losing this 4860 level and tried to break above, but then got sold back down. Few things we can look at. Let's dive a bit on intraday. Hmm. So this is the breakout we are talking about, right? I see how this could be attractive to a lot of people. It consolidating and below this trend line, but I personally don't like this, to be honest. I think these obvious trends, even if it ends up giving a mini breakout, I'd looking to short it back down. Alt season will come? No. If yes, then when, bro? The kind of alts you are in and you are focusing on, probably alt season never comes for you. But probably, uh, at least there would be no alt season unless BTC ends up making new highs. That's one thing you could be sure on. Alts, uh, any rally on alts that come within this BTC range expected to be short lived. The only actual alts rotation you would only be able to get once BTC leads the market, makes new all time highs, attracts more retail inflow, and that's where your alts could start actually running for alt season. As long as BTC is below this range, don't expect much of like strong alt season rallies. What are your top three spot picks? Uh, it changes time to time. For now, one thing that would not change for me and would remain this entire cycle is Sol. Other than that, I think for now you could be betting. I think memes and Sol. That's it. Now do your own research on what memes you'd want to buy and stuff. But memes and Sol. That's all you need this cycle. Coming to Mu, like I just inverted a lot of time when you get a bit of like conflicted bias on a coin. Try to invert the chart, right? I don't know how bearish I could be on a chart that looks like this, where it's in a slow, gradual uptrend, reclaimed back these previous lows. I think if anything, I'd eventually maybe a fake breakdown and then back up, but eventually I'd expect it to be going towards the highs. So, in summary, I don't think Mu runs much. On the other hand, I'd be happy to change my bias if Mu ends up doing this, breaks this trend. These were the Binance listing highs. Start accepting back below these Binance listing highs, and I think that's where you buy Mu for a really good rally. Something of this sort. Then you have a good invalidation of trying something, right? That would only be a 7% invalidation, and probably aim for these highs at least. So at least like a 43% rally. But that's what only I'd be sure if it ends up flipping Binance listing highs, this level that we broke down from. Dodge still good? I don't think so. Again, most of the things I am saying about alts in the stream are my high time frame thoughts. And for Dodge, I think this cycle, no one's interested in the memes of last cycle, right? The only good narrative I used to see on Dodge is that, when like we resume up only and a lot of last cycle money starts joining back in, probably they look to push their bags up, which ideally would be Dodge. But especially recently after the OG dog of the Dodge coin died, and then if you were active with the memes, you saw what Nairo did, right? Same Dodge owner getting a new dog and a new dog meme, and people started betting on it. So I think the Dodge narrative has diluted by a lot this cycle, diluted by new coins, diluted by Nairo. I think this cycle people are only concerned on these newer memes. RWA good too, Ondo MKR. I agree. I think at some stage of the cycle, you eventually get this Sol ETF narrative as well. So for when that comes, I think RWA has one leg up at least before any major drawdown from here. So yeah, I think Ondo would be a good bet. Ondo, MKR, maybe even TrueFi. Uh, TrueFi token. These are good RWA coins to be eyeing at. Where are you from in Pakistan? Lahore. Hopefully September will be good. I agree. I agree. I think September is something you can be bullish on. August is where I'm just expecting more range and chop kind of thing. Can you chart Rune, please? Okay. Popcat looks decent if it keeps consolidating above this daily level. I'm hoping we get a mini BTC flush down before CPI, and I'd be looking maybe for a Popcat long. Let's see. Someone asked about Rune. I think the weekly doesn't look bad on Rune if it ends up closing above 3.47. Flush down before CPI would be nice. Yeah, I agree. That's something I could be more confident on betting. I think Dowser. First of all, I think I remember your name. You're from WG, right? Are you still there, or have you left the group? And secondly, yeah, I think Rune looks pretty good. Not bad. I think 3.47 is the level to be eyeing at. Anything above that on Rune on high time frame is pretty good. Uh, on buying on a pullback, maybe you can start scaling in from here, because since it's spot, so and if you have like higher time frame swing targets, then buying here or like 10% lower, completely up to you. But if you are looking for a pullback to buy, then look for anything around this daily demand, uh, and look to ride it back up. But at the same time, on most of these alts, if you are buying, have some invalidation, right? Your invalidation on Rune should be, uh, if we end up losing 3.47 on weekly. As long as weekly closes above 3.47, it looks pretty good. Below, not that good. Uh, Closing below, probably you get much lower to be buying. But yeah, I think this deviation on weekly looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm still in WG. Now I know about you being in the group. I was asking about Dowser, the guy above who asked about RW and Ondo. Uh, Check Pepaya Bybit. Okay. How to draw 0, 0.5 and 1 range on a chart. Like, you just need to do it. You can do it in any way possible. I have my fib settings in a way that, because I don't trade fibs, so the only way I use this fib tool is for my range, where you mark your range lows, mark your range highs, and then just draw out this fib. Yeah, I asked that. Are you still in WG? Pap- TRB looks good. I know it's a, a scam coin and stuff, but the way it's consolidating here, let's see. I'll be eyeing at TRB in coming times. A break above, and I think it could scam run. No, sir, left a while ago. Yeah, because I remember your name, but then I was like, I haven't seen you in the group for a while. Is this the ticker? Or am I doing the spellings wrong? PEI, PEI. The issue with this coin is, it was kind of like a Pepe Part 2 kind of a thing, right? And I remember talking about this coin with Impulse on stream a month or two back. And we were like, if you are betting on narratives which are like just clone or, part 2 of an existing narrative, don't just bag hold them and be quick to rotate out of. Doesn't look good, I would say. The only way I'd be interested is if it ends up reclaiming back above 1760. That's a major level on Papaya to flip above. So these highs, these previous lows, try to reclaim above, sold back down. Unless it reclaims above 1760, I won't touch it. CRV, please check on 1 hour. It have a bearish divergence along RSI. I don't trade RSI divergences on lower time frames, so I can't comment much on that. Mocha kind of looks nice for a short hedge. Got listed not too long ago and it's moved. Now it's been trending down. Mocha. Is it another meme coin? I agree. I agree with you. Doesn't look good. Like if you're looking for some short exposure structures that look like this, uh, where they tapped the highs and are now bleeding in this poor V-shaped manner, these usually are good for shorts. But I won't short here obviously because it just seems it would squeeze at one time, maybe here, maybe a bit lower. Try to look for shorts on it at any push up. So any good green move on it, try to fade it back down, something of this sort. I think if you get a push on this coin around here, 119, overall 0 point, like anything around 12 cents or 119, 118, that would be a good shot. Is trading on indicators bad? Uh, I won't say that. There are a lot of people who find indicators good. I do look for some RSI confluences time to time, but everyone has their own trading strategy. I can't comment on rest. Uh, out of all memes, Coin Whiff has the best tech. First of all, what tech memes have, man? No one buys meme for tech. As long as the community is good and the hype is good, write the fun. Okay, I think this would be it from my side. We went through most of what I could on BTC, ETH, Sol, a lot of alts as well. Uh, Before ending, I would say yes, you can change dog's hat on the website for real. I never knew that. That's good. So yeah, before uh, I end the stream, I would still say don't push on market in these in the weeks where you have big macro events. The price action is going to be choppy. Try to trade at extremes. Don't chase moves to either side. Look for reversions after confirmations. I am still not sure on how bullish ETH leading and Sol lagging is for the market. That's one concerning point for me still. Nevertheless, I've been risk off since Friday. I'll continue doing that. But being bearish or being risk off doesn't mean that you just fixate to your bias, right? Like, for example, I took a couple of shots since Friday. Then I ended up taking a long yesterday that paid me well, right? So, no need to fix to biases. Overall bias for me is still being a slightly bearish, being risk off, but at the same time, I am actively looking for any sort of opportunity to be trying some longs as well. For example, if we get any pre-CPI push down, mini flush into 59.5ish something, I'd be looking for some longs or a push up for some shorts. That's kind of my bias for I think that's something I would stick to for the rest of August, to be honest. I don't think you get to see some strong rallies overall throughout August, maybe towards September, but this month be good at your intraday trading, right? Stop bull posting, stop bear posting, stop expecting strong trends for this month. Be good with your scalps, be good with playing ranges and chops, bid extremes, and that's all you should be focusing on. So that's it from my side. Hope you people had a good time. The stream would be uploaded on the YouTube channel. Anything I find interesting would be posting in the group. Some of it on the Twitter as well. So yeah, have a good time. See you people soon. Allah Hafiz.